Okay, how you guys doing there? Hopefully you're doing okay. We're about ready to start section 4-2 for the Algebra 2 classes here. We're starting this on Thursday, January 7th, and it's going to be due on Monday, January 11th. It's like 40 total questions. I'll do 20 of them with you guys like usual. You can do the other 20 on your own. Most of them are pretty straightforward. There's a few that are a little bit confusing here, especially near the end, but like usual, if you have questions, you can always email me and get with me, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Either through email or calling you or whatever. So anyhow, we're dealing with adding, subtracting, and multiplying polynomials. If you're wondering if we're ever going to divide polynomials, yes, we are, just not in this section. And that's the next section that we're going to do in section 4-3. So anyhow, we're going to start right in with adding and subtracting polynomials. They're pretty straightforward. Multiplying is a little more tricky, but for the most part, adding and subtracting polynomials is not too difficult. So we're going to dive right in on section 4-2. And they're going to give you some polynomials, and they're going to ask you to add them or subtract them, finding the sum. So we're on exercise 3. Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to grab my textbook so I don't have to keep on looking at the computer screen. I'm going to put this right up here. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. All right. So section 4-2. Okay. So 4-2. We are on question number 3, and they give us, where are they at? So we have 3x squared plus 4x, 3x squared plus 4x, minus 1 plus what? Negative 2x squared minus 3x, negative 2x squared minus 3x, minus 3x plus 2. Okay, so all we're doing, we're adding polynomials, just adding like terms. That's all you're doing, okay? And you want to make sure you put them in the right order. So we're going to put 3x squared and negative 2x squared. That's 1x squared. I would just put x squared, though. The computer may mark you down if you put 1x squared. Okay, we can put together 4x and negative 3x. That's a positive 1x, or just x. And we put together negative 1 and positive 2. That's a positive 1. So x squared plus x plus 1. Okay, that one's not too bad. So look at question number 5. Okay. So again, there, and you need to know the terminology, the sum. Sum, means add. So question number 5, we have 12x5 minus 3x4, I think it is. 3x4 plus 2x. Plus 2x, where are we? Minus 5 plus. And then the other polynomial that we're adding with it is 8x4 minus 3 something. 8x4. Minus 3x3 plus 4x, and plus 1. Okay, so now be careful here. Some students tend to think, oh, we just add the first term and the first term, the second term, the second term. No, we don't. We combine like terms. Okay, 12x5. What can I combine with 12x5? There are no other x5s, so it's going to stay 12x5. And I'm not just going to combine like terms. I'm also going to put them in the right order. If you remember, the exponent determines the order. So the next one we'll look at, well, the x to the 4th, so we can put together, watch your negatives, negative 3x to the 4th and a positive 8x to the 4th. That's a positive 5x to the 4th. Cross those off. Now the next term I see is 2x, but I want to put them in the right order. I'm going to look over here. There's an x to the 3rd I would put first, and I can't combine it with anything. So it stays negative 3x3. And I can put together 2x and 4x, that's 6x. And we also have negative 5 and positive 1, that's a negative 4. Okay, so again, just to save a little bit of time, I'm going to not just combine like terms, I'm also going to keep them in the right order. Okay, and the sum on number 7. So we have 7x6 plus 2x5, 2x5, then what? Plus 2x5 minus 3x2 plus 6x plus 9x plus something. 5x5 plus 8x3, 5x5 plus 8x3, 5x3 minus 6x squared plus 2x, minus 6x squared plus 2x, minus 6x squared plus 2x minus 5. Okay, so combining like terms, 7x6, there are no other x6s, so it stays 7x6, 2x5 and 5x5, that's 7x5s. I have an x to the 2nd, but I see an x to the 3rd, I can't combine it with anything, so it's going to stay 8x3. I can put together negative 3x squared and a negative 6x squared, that's a negative 9x squareds. I can put together 9x and 2x, it's 11x, and we still have the minus 5 there. Okay? All right, now when we get to number 9, now they ask you to find the difference. Okay? So what I would suggest you do is this. I'm going to write the problem down. Okay? So we have 3x3 minus 2x squared, 3x3 minus minus 2x squared. Then what? Plus 4x minus 8 minus 5x3 plus 12x squared, 5x3 plus 12x squared, plus 12x squared minus 3x minus 4, 3x minus 4. I would really encourage you to do this, okay? Rather than do these in your head, what I would do is this. I would distribute this negative sign. When you distribute a negative sign, everything turns opposite. So, if you really want to, there's a 1 sitting here. If you distribute a 1, nothing happens. So it's just going to stay 3x3 minus 2x squared plus 4x minus 8. When you distribute the negative sign, 5x3 turns into negative 5x3, 12x squared turns into negative 12x squared, negative 3x turns into positive 3x, and negative 4 turns into positive 4. They just change opposite. These turn opposite, these stay the same. I can put together 3x3 and watch your negatives. Negative 5x3, that's a negative 2x3. I can put together a negative 2x squared and negative 12x squared, that's a negative 14x squareds. I can put together 4x and 3x, that's 7x. And I still have negative 8 and positive 4, that's a negative 4. Okay? So that's the only difference. What I would do is I would distribute the negative sign, turn everything opposite, and then combine like terms just like you did when you were adding them. Okay? Let's look at number 11. Number 11 we have, I'll write it out, what the heck. We have 5x6 minus 2x4, 5x6 minus 2x4, plus 9x3 plus 2x, plus 9x3 plus 2x, plus 9x3 plus 2x minus 4 minus 7x5 minus 8x4, 7x5 minus 8x4, plus 2x minus 11, plus 2x minus 11. So again, I'm just going to rewrite this without the parentheses. So 5x6 minus 2x4 plus 9x3 plus 2x minus 4. Distribute the negative sign, turn everything opposite. So 7x5 turns into negative 7x5. Negative 8x4 turns into positive 8x4. 2x turns into negative 2x. Negative 11 turns into a positive 11. And then we combine our like terms. 5x6, I can't put that with anything, so it stays 5x6. I can put, the next one I see is the next to the fifth. I can't put anything with that, so a negative 7x5. I have negative 2x4 and positive 8x4. That's a positive 6x4. I have a 9x3, which I can't put with anything. I have a 2x and a negative 2x. Those just cancel. And then we have negative 4 and positive 11. That's a positive 7. Okay? All right, one more of these. Okay, so number 13. So we have 8x5 plus 6x3. 8x5 plus 6x3 minus 2x2 plus 10x, minus 2x2 plus 10x minus something, 9x5 minus x3, 9x5 minus x3, minus 13x squared plus 4, minus 13x squared plus 4. Okay, so again, for the last time, just going to recopy this, 8x5 plus 6x3, minus 2x squared plus 10x, distribute the negative, so 9x5 turns into negative 9x5, negative x3 turns into positive x3, negative 13x squared turns into positive 13x squared, positive 4 turns into negative 4. Okay, and then we combine our like terms. 8x5 and negative 9x5, that's a negative 1x5. I would just put negative x5 though. The computer may mark you down if you put negative 1x5. I wouldn't if it was a test, but the computer might. 6x3 and 1x3 is 7x3s. Negative 2x squared and 13x squared is 11x squareds. I can't put anything with 10x, and I can't put anything with negative 4. Okay? All right, so we've added polynomials and we subtracted polynomials. 9, 11, 13, numbers, okay, we skipped to number 17. Okay, so number 17, finding the product, that means we're multiplying. Okay, so on number 17, if I gave you 7x3 times something, 5x2 plus 3, 5, 3, 1. 5x2 plus 3x plus 1. So we're going to distribute 7x3. So we start off with 7 times 5 is 35. And when you times, if you remember, you add your exponents. x3 times x2 is x5. It's not x to the 6th. When you times, you add the exponents, okay? So we have 35x to the 5th plus 7 times 3 is 21. x3 times x, x to the 1 is x to the 4th. And 7x3 times 1 is 7x3. Okay? Okay, so hopefully that one wasn't too bad. Let's look at number 19, question number 19. Okay, question 19. We have 5x squared minus 4x plus 6, 5x squared minus 4x plus 6 times negative 2x plus 3. Okay, when you're multiplying polynomials, you're multiplying each of these by each of these. So I'm going to distribute the 5x squared first, then the negative 4x, then the 6. So negative 5x squared times negative 2x to the first is negative 10. x2 times x1 is x3. Remember, when you times, you add the exponents. 5x squared times 3 is 15x squared. 3 times 5 is 15x squared. Now we're going to distribute the negative 4. Negative 4x times negative 2x, and negative 4 times a negative 2 is a positive 8. x1 times x1 is x2. And then negative 4x times 3 is negative 12x. Then we need to distribute the 6. 6 times negative 2x is negative 12x. 6 times 3 is 18. And then combine like terms. There's nothing that goes with negative 10x3, but I can put negative 15x squared and 8x squared. That's 23x squared. And I can also put together negative 12x and negative 12x is negative 24x plus 18. Okay? All right, that was number 19. Number 21. Okay, 21. So we have on this one, we have x2 minus 2x minus 4, x2 minus 2x minus 4 times x2 minus 3 minus 5, x2 minus 3x minus 5. So we're going to multiply everything in here by everything in here. So we're going to times each of these first by x squared, then by negative 2x, then by negative 4. So x2 times x2 is x4. x2 times negative 3x is negative 3x to the third. Remember, when you times, you add the exponents. X squared times negative 5 is negative 5x squared. Now let's distribute the negative 2x. Negative 2x times x squared is negative 2x to the third. Negative 2x times negative 3x is a positive 6x squared. Remember, x times x is x squared. Negative 2x times 5 is positive 10x. And then times, distribute the negative 4. Times x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 4 times negative 3 is positive 12x. And negative 4 times negative 5 is positive 20. Combine like terms, nothing goes with the x to the fourth, but I could put negative 3x3 and negative 2x3 together. That's a negative 5x3. Now if you're wondering, I thought we were supposed to add the exponents. When we times, we add the exponents. When we add, the exponents stay the same, as long as they're the same. So we put together our x squared and our x squared and our x squared. Negative 5 and 6 is 1. 1 and negative 4 is negative 3x squared. 10x and 12x is 22x. And we still have the 20 at the end. Okay? All right, I'm kind of blazing through these, but when you're doing these, I just take them kind of slow. It's real simple to make mistakes, okay? So just caution on that. 23, one more of these types of questions. Okay, so 23, so we have 3x3 minus 9x. It's 9x plus 7. And x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay, so we're going to multiply everything in here by everything in here. So we're going to times each of these first by 3x3, then by negative 9x, and then by 7. So 3x3 times x squared is 3x to the 5th. 3x3 times negative 2x is negative 6. x3, x1 is x4. When we times, we add the exponents. 3x3 times 1 is 3x3. Now distribute negative 9x times x squared is negative 9x to the third. Negative 9x times negative 2x is positive 18x squared. Don't forget, x times x is x squared. Negative 9x times 1 is negative 9x. Then distribute the 7 times x squared is 7x squared. 7 times negative 2x is negative 14x. 7 times 1 is 7. Combine like terms, nothing goes with 3x5. Nothing goes with negative 6x4. But I could put together 3x3 and negative 9x3. That's a negative 6x3. I can put together 18x squared and 7x squared, that's 25x squareds. I can put together negative 9x and negative 14x, that's a negative 23x, and a plus 7 at the end. Okay? Okay, on to number 27. Okay, number 27. Now we're multiplying 3 polynomials. I think it's 3 binomials. Okay, these aren't any harder, it just takes a little longer. So I think number 27 is the next one. We did 23. Then we're on to number 27. We're getting kind of closer to being done. We still have one more thing we still have to talk about. Okay, 27. So we have x minus 3, x plus 2, and x plus 4. Now, I'm going to do a different example first. If I gave you x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 10, here's what you don't do. Here's what you do not do, okay? Real common answer is x to the third plus 60. Where did they get x to the third from? X times x times x. Where did 60 come from? 2 times 3 times 10. It'd be nice if that's the way you do it. It's not the way you do it, okay? You don't just multiply the first terms and the last terms. That's not what we did. Back here, we didn't just times the first terms and the last terms, stuff like that. We multiplied everything by everything, okay? Now, it's impossible to multiply 3 things at once. It's impossible. If I gave you this right here, 2 times 3 times 5, okay? Hopefully already you know the answer is 30, okay? Nobody here, myself included, can multiply those 3 all at the same time and get 30. If you go, yeah, I did, I kept it real quick, 30. You didn't times them all at once. You might have done 2 times 3 is 6, taking a half a second or so to do that, and 6 times 5 is 30. Or maybe you did 3 times 5 is 15 and times that by 2, which is 30. Or maybe you did 2 times 5 is 10, and then times, you can't do it. You cannot multiply 3 things at once. You got to do them 2 at a time, okay? So here's what we do. How do we multiply 3 things at once? We don't. We do it 2 at a time. It doesn't matter which 2. I'm going to do these 2 first. When we have 2 terms by 2 terms, we FOIL. You know what FOIL is, okay? So just ignore this right now. We FOIL this out. Our first terms are x times x is x squared. My outers are x times 4, that's 4x. My inners are 2 times x, that's 2x. And my last is 2 times 4, which is 8. Combine like terms, we have x squared plus 6x plus 8. So we've times these 2 together. Now we have to times by x minus 3. So times each of these first by x, then each of these by negative 3. X times x2 is x3. X times 6x is 6x squared. X times 8 is 8x. Now times by negative 3. Times x squared is negative 3x squared. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18x. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. Like terms, we can put together 6x squared and negative 3x squared. That's 3x squared. 8 and negative 18 is negative 10x. Take away 24. Okay? So if we're multiplying 3 things together, you do them 2 at a time. Okay? 29. Okay, so on number 29, same type problem. We have x minus 2, 3x plus 1. X minus 2, 3x, so minus 1 or plus 1? 3x plus 1, 4x minus 3. 4x minus 3. 4x minus 3, yes, okay. So again, I'm going to times these last 2 together. It doesn't matter which 2 you times together first. It doesn't, okay? So if we FOIL this out, 3x times 4x is 12x squared. My outers, negative 3 times 3 is negative 9x. My inners, 1 times 4x is 4x. My last 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. Combine like terms, we have 12x squared. Negative 9 and 4 is negative 5x minus 3. Then we have to distribute x minus 2. Times each of these by x, and each of these by negative 2. X times 12x squared is 12x3. X times negative 5x is negative 5x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Distribute negative 2 times 12 is negative 24x squared. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10x. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. Like terms, 12x3, put together negative 5x squared and negative 24x squared, that's negative 29x squared. Negative 3x and positive 10x is positive 7x plus 6. Okay, on to number 31. Okay, one more of these types of questions. Okay, get some room here. Again, there's still one more thing we have to talk about. Okay, all right, 31. It's 31, we have, where are we? 3x minus 4, 5 minus something, 2x, then 4x plus 1. 5 minus 2x, 4x plus 1, yep, okay. So I'm going to multiply these two first. I'm going to FOIL these out. So first is 20x, outers is 5, inners is negative 8x squared. Negative 2x times 1 is negative 2x. Okay, I'm going to combine like I'm going to put them in the right order too. So negative 8x squared. I can put together 20x and negative 2x, that's 18x, and plus 5. And then distribute your 3x minus 4, times each of these by 3x, then each of these by negative 4. 3x times negative 8x2 is negative 24x3. 3x times 18x is 54x squared. You can use calculators. 3x times 5 is 15x. Now distribute negative 4 times negative 8 is positive 32x squared. Negative 4 times 18 is negative 72x's. And negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Combine like terms, there is no like term of negative 24x3, but I could put together 54x squared and 32x squared, that's 86x squared. 15x and negative 72x is negative 57x. Take away 20. Okay, on to number 35. Okay, here's the deal, okay? 35. These are going to be nicer ones here when you get to number 35. They ask us to find the product of x minus 9, x plus 9. Now the longer way, which is not very long, is FOIL. But I'm going to show you a shortcut. You don't need to memorize the shortcut. You don't need to. But if you do, it's nice. Okay? If you memorize the shortcut, you can do it in your head. Okay? You can just FOIL this out. That's the long way. Just FOIL it out. That's not how I'm going to do it. Okay? These are very similar. Some students say, well, they're opposite. X plus 9, x minus 9, they're opposites. They're not opposites. They're close. Okay? They're very close to being opposites. The opposite of positive x plus 9 would have been negative x minus 9. These are what are called conjugates. Conjugates, okay? Conjugates are two things that are exactly the same except for the sign in between them is different, okay? So if I gave you 9x minus 3, the conjugate of 9x minus 3 is 9x plus 3. If I gave you negative 5x plus 4, the conjugate is negative 5x minus 4, okay? Opposites are where you oppositize the entire thing. Okay, conjugates, you only oppositize the symbol in between, okay? So, when you're multiplying conjugates, this is really, really nice. You don't have to do all of FOIL. You don't have to do all of FOIL. You'll find that your outers and inners cancel. So all you gotta do are your first and your last, that's it. And again, if you're sitting there going, I'm gonna forget this. That's okay, FOIL it out. I don't care, that's fine. But since these are conjugates, you just do your first, x squared, and your last. 9 times negative 9 is negative 81, you're done. Problem's done. If you FOIL it out, your outers are 9x, your inners are negative 9x, they cancel. So you don't have to do FOIL, you just have to do FL. Okay? Let's look at number 37. Okay? We have 3c minus 5 squared. 3c minus 5 squared. Here's what you don't do. 9c squared minus 25, or plus 25. You square this, you square that, you're done. That's not how you do it, okay? What you do is this. When you square something, you times it by itself. So 3c minus 5 times 3c minus 5. Now, can I do a little shortcut I just showed you a minute ago? No, these are not conjugates. They're exactly the same. So we have to FOIL this thing out. 3c times 3c is 9c squared. Make sure you type in c's on this. If you type in x's, the computer's going to say you're wrong, okay? Outers are 3c times negative 5, that's negative 15c. My inners are also negative 15c. My last negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. So we have 9c squared, negative 30c, plus 25. Okay? Okay, on to number 39. Okay, so we have, where is this one? 7h plus 4 squared. Again, do not put 49h squared plus 16. Don't just square this and square that and be done. That's not right, okay? When you square something, you times it by itself. So 7h plus 4 times 7h plus 4, we have to FOIL. 7h, and these are not conjugates, they're exactly the same. So you got to do all the FOIL. 7h times 7h is 49h squared. My outer is 4 times 7h is 28h. My inners are also 28h. My last 4 times 4 is 16. So we do have a 49h squared plus 16, but you also have 56h. And again, make sure you type in h's. Do not type in x's because the computer's not going to like that. Okay? 41. 2k plus 6 squared. Okay, 2k plus 6 squared. Almost done with this section. Oh, is that to the third? Nope, that's to the third. To the third. Okay, so we got to do 2k plus 6 times 2k plus 6 times 2k plus 6. How do we multiply three things at once? You don't. Okay, you can't multiply three things at the same time. Okay, so we're going to do these two first. So we FOIL this out. 2k times 2k is 4k squared. My outers, I'm going to skip a step here. 2k times 6 is 12k. My inners are also 12k. 12k and 12k is 24k. Last is 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, then distribute the 2k plus 6. Multiply each of these by 2k and each of these by 6. 2k times 4k squared is 8k to the third. 2k times 24k is 48k squared. And 2k times 36 is 72k. Now distribute 6 times 4 is 24k squared. 6 times 24 is 144k. 6 times 36 is 216. Like terms, we have 8k3, 48k squared, and 24k squared is 72k squareds. 72k's and 144k is 216k's plus 216. So 8k3, 72k squared, plus 216k, plus 216. Okay? All right, so last thing we need to talk about. That was 41. So we have, what, 3 more to go? Okay, good news, bad news on these, okay? Let's see, that was 41. Was that 41? Yes, 43. When you get to 43, it says use Pascal's triangle to expand the binomial, okay? Here's what we do. If I gave you something such as this, so it's another way of expanding these. Okay, what we're doing here is expanding. We have something condensed, we expanded it. Condensed, we expanded it. By multiplying it out, we're expanding it, okay? So when we look at number 43, 43 says 2t plus 4 cubed. I would watch this next problem several times, okay? We're going to do the same thing over and over and over, okay? So what we could do is this. We could do 2t plus 4 times 2t plus 4 times 2t plus 4 and FOIL, FOIL, FOIL. We could do that. There's nothing wrong with that, okay? Here's another way you could do it. Something called Pascal's triangle. Pascal's triangle looks like this. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, 1, 5, 10, 10, 5, 1. And I can go as far as I want, okay? That'll get us through most of these problems. That'll get us through all these problems, okay? Now, how am I getting these numbers? Give you a little clue here. Where did this 10 come from? Give you a clue. To get any number, you take the two numbers above it and add them together. So if I want to go another row, 1, this number would be 1 plus 5, 5 plus 10, 10 plus 10, 10 plus 5, 5 plus 1, 1, okay? And we can keep going, okay? I don't want you to memorize this. I want you to understand how you come up with it by adding. That's all you're doing, you're just adding, okay? Now this first row is actually called row 0. This one is row 1, row 2, row 3. Now, to make it easy, if you ignore the 1s, this starts and ends with the 6, that's row 6. Row 5, row 4, row 3, and so forth, okay? For this particular problem, we're going to use row 3. Why row 3? Because it's to the third power. So I'm going to write down these numbers. 1, 3, 3, 1. Okay? And then I'm going to write down my two terms. 2t, 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 and 4. And it's to the third, so I'm going to put 3, and I'm going to count down to 0. 2, 1, 0. I'm going to start at 0 and count up to 3. And then I'm going to simplify this. Now, we're taking this times this times this, getting an answer. This times this times this, getting an answer. This times I'm getting an answer. Don't forget out these 1, 3, 3, 1s, okay? Now, anything to the power of 0, be careful, it's not 0, it's 1. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. And when you multiply by 1, nothing happens. So we can cross that out, we cross that out. So we take 2 to the third. Just ignore the variable for right now, okay? 2 to the third. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. 8 times 1 is 8. Then t to the third. Then we take 2 to the second, which is 4. Times 3 is 12. 12 times 4 to the first. 4 to the first is 4. So 12 times 4 is 48. T to the second. Then we take 2 to the first is 2, times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 squared is 16. 6 times 16 is 96. T to the first, or just T. 4 to the third, it's not 12, it's not 4 times 3, it's 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. 64 times 1 is 64. So now what do? We're done, okay? This is our answer. Combine like terms. Guess what? There aren't any like terms to combine. Put it in the right order. Guess what? It is. This is the answer. 8t3 plus 48t squared. Make sure you're using t's on the computer. Plus 96t plus 64. Now, if we would have written this out 3 times and foiled, and didn't make a mistake, you know what we get? That. Did I say this was quick? No. Is it quicker than foiling it out? Yes, it is. Okay? So, when you have things raised to like the third power or fourth power or fifth power, it's quicker using Pascal's triangle. Okay? Let's do 2 more examples. Not examples, 2 more problems. Okay, 45. So we have 2q minus 3 to the 4th. 2q minus 3 to the 4th. We're going to use the 4th row of Pascal's triangle because it's to the 4th power. So I'm going to write down 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Now this one's a little different because it has a minus sign. Okay? So we write down 2q, 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 and not 3, negative 3. And we're not going to start off to the 4th power, or the 3rd power, we're going to start off to the 4th power. Count from 4 and count down to 0. Start at 0 and count up to 4. Okay, and anything to the 0 is 1, and we times by 1,